I don't have a problem. I can stop whenever I want. Hey everyone, welcome back to Andrew's Wizardly Reads, and as always, I'm Andrew, and today guys, I've got another book haul for you. That's right guys, oops, I did it again. I am a lying liar who lies. I am putting it on record right now. Frankly guys, I hauled way more books than I intended to. Way more books than I intended to. But mistakes were made, and all I can do is move on. So all I can try and do is be better in the future. But before we get to the book haul, make sure you are liking and subscribing and hitting that bell notification so you can get regular updates when I put new content. I post every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Now that said, guys, as always, I like to start off my book hauls with what I bought digitally. I believe I only bought 3 books digitally this month. Back in the day, I used to be a huge Star Wars EU fan. I liked Thrawn, the Darth Bane, Sidious, Young Jedi Knights, New Jedi Order, just all of these fantastic series. I didn't read all of it, obviously, because it's just massive and would take forever. But whenever, like, you know, back when I was younger, I used to read Dragonlance on a lot of Star Wars. And when they made the change to say, hey, all the Star Wars that you love doesn't matter anymore, I got a little bit salty. And I stopped reading the books. But there is a set of the books that I'm currently interested in because it takes place in a different time period. So I picked up Star Wars Light of the Jedi, which is the High Republic Book 1 by Charles Soule. And I'm just kind of curious to see where this goes. I do want to try and read some Star Wars, and if it's set in a different time period, I think I'll be more accepting of that. And, you know, frankly, Star Wars, why not? And then I got the Of Blood and Fire, which is the Bound and the Broken Book 1 by Ryan Cahill. This one I just kind of found, I think, for $1. He released, like, a novella, like a prequel novella or something. He was running a special, and it was like $1, so I went ahead and I picked that up. And then finally, in my digital purchases, I also picked up City of Stairs, which is the Divine Cities Book 1. And I believe this is just an urban fantasy where the gods are coming down to Earth to kind of meddle around a little bit. This is by Robert Jackson Bennett, and he is the author of The Foundry Side, I believe. And I've been kind of wish-washy going back and forth on Foundry Side. I know a lot of people who love it. I know a lot of people who are meh on it. And since I've been kind of missing a little bit of urban fantasy, I decided to give it a shot and see if his writing style vibes with me. If so, I'll go ahead and pick up Foundry Side later on. But that is all my digital purchases. And now we get to talk about the stacks of books that I have around me. Let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 21, 22, 23. So 26 books isn't too bad. It's about half of the books that I hauled from the previous month. So we're showing some improvement here. But let's do the first 3. Now these, luckily, I will have read by the end of this month. And that is going to be the Iconoclast Trilogy by Mike Shell, which is absolutely stunning. We've got Aching God right here. I love this book. I gave it 5 stars. I've already read that one. We've got Sin Eater. I'm sorry, I almost said Soul Eater. That's an anime. This is Sin Eater Book 2, which I believe I gave 4.5 stars. And then I am reading Idol's Fall this month and wrapping up this trilogy. And guys, if you, I've got these digitally. I believe I've got them on audio, but I just had to get the physical copies. I saw Steve from Steve Talks About Books and stuff had them, and I was like, oh, those look super pretty. And guys, I mean, they feel great in the hand. It's got that kind of like weird textured cover that like just, it's got like grip to it, and I love that. It's got that like crease down the center that I love. So you're not going to get those lines, and it's, I mean, they look massive, but I mean, it's big font. I love these books. They smell pretty decent, too. So, there's a plus there. Plus the cover art. Just look at that. Like, I don't even know what this one's about, and I'm here for it. I am here for it. Then, moving right along with some more self-pub, because frankly, I'm falling in love with the self-pub market. I got books 2 and 3? 2 and 3? Yeah, 2 and 3 of the Chasing Graves trilogy by Ben Galley. I haven't even read Chasing Graves yet, but I've heard so much about Chasing Graves, and I've got the first book. It was sent to me last month by Lana from Lauren Lullabies, and I fell in love with just holding the physical copies. And when I looked at the artwork for these, like, I mean, look at that artwork. Fantastic, guys. And again, great build. It's got the same thing. It's got that crease down there so it won't bend, and it feels great in the hand. It's gorgeous artwork. Do a smell test. I mean, I'm wearing the Nerdy Narrative shirt, so I gotta smell the books. And light on scent, but I'm okay with that because, frankly, I mean, just so beautiful. I can't wait to get to this trilogy. Let's see. I believe more self-pub. I picked up The Black Coast by Mike Brooks. Somebody in the Discord was talking about this, and I decided to go ahead and pick this up. This is the US version. It's not half as pretty as the UK version, which, if I like this, I will, although, look at that. That's so floppy. Okay, that one's got a little bit more smell. Yeah, I like that. Oh, yeah, book 1 of the God King Chronicles. So this looks super good, and I am super excited. Oh, this says this was printed in Denmark. Okay, fair enough. I didn't know that. All right, and then I got a copy of The Coward by Stephen Aaron. Aaron? I think it's Stephen Aaron. Frankly, I saw this in a book haul from Niko's Book Reviews, and then I've also heard a couple people talk about this, and it sounded kind of interesting. Basically, from what I understand of the premise of this, is like the fabled hero, like all the stories about him are pretty much bogus, and he's actually a sniveling coward. And so then he's like called back into action, and he's just kind of got to deal with his legend now. So I'm super interested to see what happens here. But yeah, and plus it's just another gorgeous copy. I'm pretty sure this one's self-pub as well. So I've got a lot of self-pub in this haul, and frankly that makes me feel good. Now the 5 books here that I'm about to show you are basically a little treat to myself for when I hit 500 subs. I went and bought 1 book for every 100 subs that I've gotten, and a couple of these are for a upcoming video. Actually, no, a video that will already have been published. So you'll already have seen some of these books. But I got We Ride the Storm by Devin Madsen, which is, this one's Orbit. So actually 4 of these are Orbit, because I love my Orbit books. Because Orbit books smell amazing. I know this is I think Asian-inspired fantasy, and I don't know a whole lot about it. But I've been following the author on Twitter, and I decided to go ahead and pick up the first book, because it was on the shelf. All of these, by the way, are, I don't know if I've already stated this, from my local half-price books. So I paid like $30 for these. But I found they had a really good selection this day, too, which was really weird. We Ride the Storm. And then I got Snakewood in hardback, by Adrian Selby. And this is like a story told through like a memoir, where like it's that found footage type deal. I think there's a term for it. I don't remember the term for it. I think Dracula is written in the same way. But I have been really wanting to get into more Adrian Selby, specifically ever since I saw him get interviewed by the Brothers Gwynne. And yeah, plus that cover just like looks casually awesome. So frankly, it was an immediate, as soon as I saw the name Adrian Selby, I snatched it off the shelf. And then again, repping the Nerdy Narrative, she turned me on to The Atlantis Gene by A.G. Riddle a few months ago. I think this was like 3 or 4 months ago. It's been a while. And so I bought the ebook. I still haven't read it, Leslie. I'm so sorry. But I was walking through the half-price books, and as I was getting ready to leave, all of a sudden this caught my eye, and I snatched it up real quick. So this is another self-pub. But yeah, so I've got tons of self-pub this month. I love it. But yeah, so if I love this, I will keep collecting them. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to actually start stacking these somewhere else. We're going to start putting them back over here. And then the next 2 that I have here for you are some BookTube darlings that are part of a... These are both ones that I've DNF'd and I've decided to give another shot to. And that's The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. Literally DNF'd it because I don't like second person. So I'm hoping to give this another shot and get further than the prologue, because I always quit like 10 pages into chapter 1 because the prologue bugged me so much. And then also Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter. This is a much-loved story on BookTube. I've heard that Tao is a rage monster. I've never even gotten to Tao being a rage monster. I basically get bored and stop reading. So I'm going to give this another go. Alright. And then over here in this stack, we've got some more self-pub. So I am becoming a Cradle Strumpet. That's right, my buddy Boiled Jellyfish, I don't know if I've covered this in a previous haul. If not, if I did, forgive me. Sent me books 3 and book 4 of Cradle. I am loving Cradle. I've already read Black Flame, and frankly, I could not be more pleased. These books were astounding. Well, this book was astounding. Cradle has been blowing my mind. I cannot wait to get to Skysworn, and frankly, I'm going to try so hard to squeeze it in this month. So hard to squeeze it in. Because, frankly, I am just dying to read more. Alright. So we're going to put this here. And then I won a Twitter giveaway from this author. And, frankly, I fell in love with the cover. And then I found out it was D&D based. And it's been personalized to me, which is great. And signed, and that is Paladin Unbound by Jeffrey Spite. Spite? Spite. We're going to go with Spite. And I am in love with this because, A, not only is it totally gorgeous, but it's also super short. And frankly, I need more short books in my life. I am so excited to read this. I don't even have words. I don't even know what it's about. And guys, I have been just eyeballing this for the 2 weeks it's been sitting on my shelf. And I'm going to keep eyeballing it until, frankly, it's in my brain. Alright, and then I've got one more that was from a book exchange. My buddy came over, and we did a small book exchange. I've now got The Darkness That Comes Before 3 different ways. I've got it on audio. I've got it on ebook. And now I've got this big floppy paperback. And yeah, I am excited for this because, frankly, one of the moderators in my Discord, this is his all-time favorite author and series. So, I mean, it's like a 7-book series of just darkness. And frankly, I need to get into it because it's not getting any smaller, basically. So hopefully within the next year, I can just get this out of the way. It's already been on my TBR once, and it just didn't make the cut. I wasn't able to get to it. All right. Now, the 8 that I've got over here, 8? Let's see if I can do math, because that was math on the fly. These were all free to me. These are all book club editions from the library of one of my mom's best friend. And she's moving, and she just couldn't take her books with her anymore. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 7. Sorry, I cannot count. This is 7 books. But I was able to get out of her personal library for free the book club edition of the Complete Book of Swords trilogy. Right? First, second, and third books by Fred Saberhagen. I have no idea what this is about, but it was definitely enough to get my interest. These are really old book club editions, too, by the way. Like, these are easily from the 90s at the earliest. Now this I'm excited for because I've never been able to find it in a bookstore. I got the book club editions of Part 1 and Part 2 of the Elric Saga. And I believe this covers, this one's the 1, 2, 3, there's 3 stories in this one, and I imagine another 3 in this one. So I'm super excited for these. Because, frankly, I've heard great things about Elric. He's like the anti-Tolkien. basically, I was reading an article about Michael Moorcock, and he considers himself an anti-Tolkien because he writes his stories completely different in fantasy to how Tolkien did so. And then I read Jurassic Park recently, and I decided to snag Timeline by Michael Crichton. I loved reading Crichton again, and this is one that I've never read before, so I decided to snag this out of her library and see what I think of it. And then I got 3 other... Oh, God, these are so dusty. I got 3 other stories, and we're going to show these kind of side by side. These are all H.P. Lovecraft from Arkham House, and some of these still have the Borders stickers on the back. That's how you know they're old. This is Dagon and Other Macabre Tales by H.P. Lovecraft. The Dunwich Horror and Others by H.P. Lovecraft. And At the Mountains of Madness by H.P. Lovecraft. So I've been really wanting to kind of dive into Lovecraft for the last few years. I just never seem to find the time to give him a shot. And I figured I saw them on the shelf, and why not? Why not give them a read? But that said, guys, that's all the books. Luckily, if I've done my math right, it's only 27 books for the month of July, which is better than the 50 that I did for the month of June. So hopefully for the month of August, it'll only be 13. I know I said I was only going to buy like 3 or 4 books a month. That was a lie. I can't do it. I'm not going to be able to limit myself in that way. Literally, I have just this urge to collect. It is almost a compulsion. Reading and collecting books are separate hobbies, and I will die on that mountain. But, you know, I like to collect books, and sometimes I even read them. So, let me know what books you hauled in the month of July 2021. Let me know what you think of my acquisitions. Do you think I have a problem? If so, do you think I'll ever do anything about it? Probably not. But, that said, guys, that's the end of this book haul. Make sure to check the description down below for the link to the Whistly Duo Discords, and I look forward to chatting with you in the comments. So, till next time, guys, peace out. Stay magical. Bye.